Hello everyone, this is High Priestess Tana, and thank you for tuning into Tana Temple Healing Works. I'm back with another tale from a Michigander, which is a series that I recently started, and I am back with the tale of Malice Green. So if you're from Detroit or anywhere across the world or this specific country, the U.S., you probably have heard about Malice Green. And Malice Green was actually a 35-year-old African American male who was unarmed, and he was beaten to death by the police on November 5th, 1992. He died from blunt force trauma to the head because he was actually beaten to death with a steel flashlight, from my understanding. So, I wanted to jump into giving some background information about Malice Green. Um, Malice Green was in Detroit when he was beat to death. He was an unemployed steel worker who had just driven his friend home when two plainclothes cops they approached him and demanded to see his license. And when he reached in the glove box, they used their metal flashlights as weapons and basically bashed him in the skull and had beaten him or bludgeoned him to death, unfortunately, which led to his demise. Um, it had only been a year since the 1991 Rodney King beating in Los Angeles, and that was captured on film, and it led to extreme racial tensions as well as um riots and other forms of, I would say, uh racial tension and violence. And it was just an uproar. It was horrible. And we still see this today. Like, nothing has changed too much, in my opinion. Um, so basically, with Rodney King, 3 of the 4 police officers involved were acquitted of assault in 1992. Now, let's go back to Malice Green. Malice Green died on November 5th, 1992, and a trial was similar to Rodney King, due to what happened to him. It was very similar, and a similar trial was awaiting. So these 2 white police officers had bludgeoned Malice Green to death. And how the way they described it is like they said that brute force was necessary. No, the fuck it wasn't. Did this man attack you? No. Did he pull out a gun? No. What the fuck are you talking about? Okay? So this is just some psychotic behavior from these 2 cops. So once people found out that Malice Green was beaten to death, excuse me, this is a very sensitive topic. I'm telling y'all, it took me a long time to talk about this because it's very painful to talk about, but it needs to be said. Malice Green was simply parked in a part of town which was known for having heavy drug activity when officers Larry Nevers and Walter Busden killed him. And like I said before, they claimed that physical or brute force was necessary because he refused to drop an item that was in his hand. And this item was a vial, I believe, like maybe a crack vial or something, from my understanding. And what's crazy is that they beat Malice Green so badly that his lifeless body, fell out of the car. He was already dead on arrival because here's the thing. They decided to eventually take him to Detroit Receiving Hospital, right? But he was already dead. He was already dead on arrival. And that's when the city went crazy, like, yo. it's like Malice became a symbol of police brutality at that time. Now I would like to give a background about some more background about Malice Green, about his early life prior to his death, his unfortunate death. He was born on April 29th, 1957 in Wilmot, Arkansas. Correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm sorry if I mispronounced that specific city. And Malice and his family moved to Detroit when he was only 12 years old. He was a solid student and graduated from Western High School in 1975. And also he found work at Morton Manufacturing Company in Illinois. He lived in Waukegan and Chicago as an adult. He moved back to Detroit to stay with his mother in March 1992, with his friends saying he did so to reunite with his estranged wife and be closer to his two daughters from prior relationships. Though newly employed, Green was known for his generosity. So I'm glad that there was some type of, known background about this man's personality, and not just him being known for being a victim of police brutality. At least I found something that touched on him as a person. He tried to find work, tended after his sister's children, and barbecued on a porch for anyone who passed by. He was a tourist too, so I'm quite sure he was very like giving and stuff. I can believe that. It was completely in character. Malice Green drove his friend Ralph Fletcher across town on November 5th, 1992. You have to excuse me if I'm mumbling, or not mumbling, but stumbling rather. This was hard. This is hard to talk about. Green took him to a party store and dropped him back off at home. Unbeknownst to him, officers Nevers and Budson had been tailing Green in an unmarked car. It was around 10:30 p.m. when they blocked his exit at Fletcher's residence, a suspected crack house, and exited their vehicle to ask for his license. Green reached for the glove box as instructed, but was holding something in his fist. Police suspected crack cocaine and began beating Green when he failed to drop it. Oh goodness, they struck him on the hand, ribs, and head, resulting in a seizure. 5 uniformed officers, among them Robert Lesno, arrived to cuff him. EMTs watched officers beat Green's prone body before taking him to the hospital, where he was pronounced dead on arrival at 11 p.m. Lord have mercy. Budson later claimed he found 4 crack rocks in Green's car and a knife on his person. What type of shit? This picture is so disturbing. Oh my God. I can see where his